One, two, three, three, two, one.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the 3P podcast. I'm Nat the GM. Jones, say what's up to the people, yo.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? We 2 weeks behind, but we gonna catch up today. We gonna catch up.
We gonna catch up. Listen, so much going on in the league right now. It is crazy, like how things are shaping up. There are teams that they're winning, they're looking real good. Teams are catching their footing, but they're still looking a little interesting. And then there's teams that's taking a big ass skid, when it comes to the standings and how they play. And speaking of teams on a skid, we got to talk about the trade for Harden that sent Harden to the Clippers, and then Marcus Morris and Rocco and Nick Batum to Philly. What did you think of that trade? And get into how you think both teams been playing.
My initial thoughts on the trade was Harden got what he wanted again, and that it was a good look for the Clippers on paper. On paper, that was something I kept saying. On paper, it looked good, and eventually, of course, they're gonna have their days where they look good because they got a bunch of stars on that team. But if you know basketball, we know basketball don't just work with a bunch of superstars. This is not 2K. This is not backyard basketball. Like, this is not how that works. So I felt that Philly in the end would win that trade because they got back pieces that would fit with that group of stars, like Embiid, who is basically the only star, but then you got an upcoming rising star in Maxey. As far as what they look like now and who won the trade, well, clearly Philly's winning the trade right now, and the Clippers are not. Because James Harden went to the Clippers, and they started off rocky. I mean rocky, like I thought they would. It was looking real ugly, and I was loving every bit of it, too.
Of course you were.
I was loving every bit of it. You know, us Lakers over here, we run LA over here. We run LA, not you.
Barely.
So slow down. All right, come on now.
Barely.
Come on now. You starting already. Don't worry, I got some smoke for you, too. Don't worry, it's all right.
You do?
Oh, yeah, I got you. Don't worry, I got you. But honestly, like, what I'm seeing from the Clippers, and it's looking a little bit better now, but what I was first seeing with that Clipper team was James Harden didn't know what the hell he wanted to do.
Yeah.
He didn't know whether he kind of like what he in Philly. I mean, Philly, it looked a little bit better, but here he looks way more confused. Like, I don't know whether to be myself, shoot the ball, do James Harden. James Harden, Houston, James Harden.
Yeah.
Do I give them, the assist James Harden in Philly? He didn't know what he wanted to do. He looked confused. And then on top of that, he said it in the interviews, like he was unsure of what he wanted to do with himself. But slowly but surely, it looks like they're getting back into the groove. One thing I got to say this before I forget, shout out to my boy Russ, man. Shout out to my boy Russ for being that guy out of all of them to say, you know what, I'll come off the bench because this guy, it ain't going to work with all four of us on the court. It's not going to. I already worked out with this dude in Houston. I know how that worked out.
Yep.
You know, Westbrook is smart like that. He's like, nah, let me go off the bench. I'll rock with these younger dudes or the second unit and get my buckets then, get my stats up then. But other than that, Philly's winning this trade clearly and easily.
I don't know what they're gonna look like 40 games in because right now Sometimes it takes teams a little bit to, get their footing and everything like that. Sometimes things just don't fit and click immediately, like Boston. Um,
She had to get
um,
that in, y'all. She had to get that in. It's all right.
it's just the truth. When it comes to the Clippers, I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for the Clippers because I like the Clippers and I like the fact that the main guys, are playing all the games so far. They're just playing.
That's true.
So I'm like, that's a good sign that these guys are just out there. And Kawhi is playing. Paul George is playing. Now they're just trying to get their footing as far as what they're doing. So when it comes to the Clippers, I think the best thing is for Russ to come off the bench. They need a spark off the bench. They need consistency off the bench. I think he'd be great off the bench. It's not because I think he's a bench player. I just think
Right.
it makes the most sense. You can't put him at the one, Harden at the two, and vice versa. It doesn't work in the starting lineup. They went on a 6-game skid. Like 6 games. Like they won shit in those games. It was brutal. It was hard to watch. It was, what are you doing? Like, it just didn't look good. But what I will say is they have the good makings of a really good team that could really scare some people, or scare some teams if they can pull it off and pull it together.
Yep.
Health is number one because you have 3 injury prone people on that team, which is tough. Paul George misses a lot of games. Kawhi misses a lot of games. James Harden can miss games. Russ is just always available. That's just one
Yep.
guy I know is coming to work, and I love that about him. I'm gonna say I can't tell you about the Clippers yet because we don't know who they are yet. We just
Yeah.
don't know anything. We don't know enough, So
Right.
I'm okay with waiting a few weeks. Let them get another 10, 15 games on, and we're going to tell you, who they are. Because now what you're seeing is teams, when they first start together, they're developing habits.
Right.
What are your habits? They've all done it. Everybody has a habit so far. Boston has a habit, the Lakers
Hmm.
have a habit already,
Yep.
like Sacramento has a habit, Denver has a habit. Like all these teams, you can pick out habits. Big Phoenix has
Yep.
habit, and they're good and they're bad, you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we don't know who the Clippers are just yet because they need a little bit more time together, and I'm
Yep.
okay with that. So we gonna see
I
what they look like.
I got a question for you before we move on
Of
from the
course,
Clippers. What are your thoughts on Kawhi right now? Do you see Kawhi being the same Kawhi he used to be, or has he lost a step?
they've all lost a step.
Yes, I thought people thought I was hating. They thought I was hating.
Listen,
I'm like, no, it's clear he's not the same guy anymore.
they've actually all lost a step, which is why they have this year to try to make it work. This is the worst year for them to do this because the West is just it's stacked. Like shit, you like Golden State has slid. They don't look like they used to look. You still got
Mhm.
to beat them, and they can still beat you. You
Right.
know, Sacramento is on the rise, and what people
Ooh.
I tried to tell people for years about Sacramento. De'Aaron Fox, I'm such a fan of his.
Me
Um,
too.
I'm such a fan of his that when people were like skeptical of him, I said, "Great, Boston trade for him. He sucks. De'Aaron Fox sucks." And I kept pushing that narrative. I said, "De'Aaron Fox sucks, people. He can't shoot. He's fast, but he's not going anywhere. Absolutely. Then, damn, he cuts his hair." I said, "Shit, he cut his
Yeah,
hair." And all of a
he went
sudden, when he cut
crazy.
that hair, he was a different person. I was like,
Boy
oh,
went
everybody did
crazy.
after that. I was so mad. But you're not gonna beat them. I'll tell you that right now. If they play them and Sacramento is looking for a third player. They're
Hmm.
on the lookout for a third star. I think they can pull it off. They can get it done.
Oh yeah, they got the pieces.
They got the pieces. So look out, because the smartest thing that Sacramento can do is actually look at the Clippers and be like, listen, you know this shit's not going to work. Paul George, do you want to come and play over here with a team that you're actually going to fit in?
Damn, I didn't even think of that. Ooh. Ooh. Matt, you talking some shit now, girl. God damn.
Nat the GM. This is, I move pieces around. I move people around. I put you in the best situation. Okay? That's what I do. That's how my works.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit.
The Clippers have pieces that if you split them up and you send them other places, they're gonna make another team better. One of those pieces to with this team, another piece to this team, all those teams are better.
Yep.
And that's what the Clippers have. I don't think they have enough to really win, even when they get it together. And I think it will happen. I just don't see it because of how the West is shaped, and how it's shaping up. But
100%.
We'll see. We'll circle back to Sacramento because they deserve a lot of love. But what do you think of Golden State right now? They don't look good at all.
See, I hate it for them right now because the way they started was beautiful, and I'm just like, all right, if they can contain that, if they can continue that this year, they're gonna put themselves in a good position to not even have to try to. Because I originally had them scratching themselves into the play-in and doing all that extra mess.
Right.
And then the way they started, I'm like, oh, all right, well, if they can continue this type of play, then they're going to put themselves in a position where they don't even have to go in the play-in. They can stay in that top 6 seed. And now they're looking like I thought they would look. And what I thought they would look like is Steph doing the heavy work. And that's just the unfortunate thing for them right now. They're stuck in a bad position because Clay's not the same. Dre is not the same. And those young guys that they were waiting to blossom into something, that one of them is in Washington doing a horrible fucking job over there. They about to ship his ass back out because he's pathetic. We got to talk about that because I got a thing about that.
Yeah.
And then Kuminga and those guys they have their moments, and I understand why all these analysts and guys are big on Kuminga and those guys, but consistency is the name of the game. You got to be consistent in these games. Talent is that's a given. You made it to the NBA. That's a given. We know you're talented. But you got to be consistent in order to get that bag and stay on that court. And 100%. Unfortunately, they're just not doing that. So it's going to look like last season. Steph is just going to have to put up 35 plus every game and hope that they make the playoffs. And that's without injury. You already got Dre out 5 games. Dre, you can't miss no more games, bro.
What'd you think of that Draymond little stuff?
I forgot we didn't talk about that. So my thing on Draymond, I love Draymond, first of all. Let me just say that out first. Love Draymond, one of my favorite players.
Yep.
But you can't do that, bro. You can't do that, bro. From what I saw, what's his name? Gobert he wasn't going to fight Clay. He was going to take Clay off of his team.
Yep.
Yeah, pull him off. Nothing malicious or anything. Dre must have saw red and said, nigga, you the one that got shut down from COVID. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get your ass for that. And then just hemmed him up, and didn't go either. Yo, Dre, what you doing? That was my problem. It was like, all right, maybe they got prior beef or something like that. And he just trying to, but damn, you didn't even let him go. And I think that's why he got the 5 games. I was looking at 3. But when you put in his history, obviously that's same with what's his name? Ja Morant. History. These are the reason why these suspensions are getting more and more longer is because you guys are the same guys that have been having these suspensions. So stop getting in trouble and you won't have
Yeah.
this kind. And that bag you missing, 800,000 for 5 games? God damn, Dre. You Draymond Green, don't give it away. Come on, man.
It was uncalled for. It was just like, what is the purpose of choking him out? When Gobert wasn't even going on nothing crazy, he was just like, Clay, like, get the hell out of here, essentially. It was just like Dre. That's what Dre does. Too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much, and his antics are not flying anymore. Then again, he's always gotten suspended over some BS, but
Right.
he's created, kind of a reputation for himself for a decade. And
Yeah.
now whatever you do, they are going to suspend you. It was pointless because you're missing chemistry. You're missing what you could be doing. You're just missing so many things. And now it's like the team just does not look good, So there needs to be a shakeup there. So does that shakeup look like maybe, I don't know, Andrew Wiggins to the Clippers, and maybe you get Kawhi in, Golden State? Like some type of shakeup.
Yeah.
I think he would fit so much better right now. Wiggs is is off right now.
Yeah.
Wiggs has been off since the playoffs last year. He's still off.
Yep.
The focus is just different. So I don't know what it's gonna take for them to get back on track. They don't have enough size on that team. It's not enough. You don't have enough talented size on that team.
Nope.
We have to be honest. You don't. You don't have like enough power off that bench. Yes, Chris Paul looks pretty good with the assists, but you need guys to get consistent buckets because these teams can score.
Yep.
Golden State is going to struggle unless Steph can literally go for 35, 40 plus a night. If you can do that, you got a shot. You always got a shot with Steph on your team. So it looks interesting right now for Golden State. I don't know what they're going to be able to do, but they're another struggle, which brings me to Denver. Denver's lost two straight. Denver's on a little bit of a skid. They've lost two straight, but Jamal Murray is not playing. He's not healthy right now. So what do we think of Denver? Because damn, like their defense has dropped. Offensively, they've dropped, but that's a lot. So Jamal Murray is more important than what we all thought.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Jamal Murray missing is huge for them. The other thing is I kind of figured they would go through this skid, but I thought they would go through this skid early. Coming off of a championship, we're used to seeing that. Championship teams coming off the championship and going into the season a little sluggish a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, they came out firing and looked like they never missed a beat. But here comes injuries. Injuries 100% rate in sports. So you're gonna go through it. Sometimes it's gonna be your best player. And now we're seeing Joker gonna have to step up and really take on the load like he's used to doing, but it's a bigger load. And now those other guys, those number 3s and number 4s and number 5s that all the way down the bench, they got to step up. This is their time to really step up. Yes, they step up in great times when Murray and Joker is doing their thing because it's nothing for them. All right, Joker and Murray doing their thing. When we get the ball, we free with it. Boom. But now it's just Joker, and now he's really dishing us the ball a lot more because we got to make plays. Those guys, only Joker can only do so much. You know what I'm saying? So those guys are going to have to step up. Big Porter. What's my little dude name?
What are you talking about?
Their backup point guard.
Reggie Jackson.
Jackson. I love Reggie Jackson.
Yeah,
Just his style. I didn't like him on the Clippers, but because he busts our ass,
yeah,
um, he just killed the Lakers.
yeah.
But no, I love him. So those guys, they're gonna have to step up
Mhm.
because I just hate seeing Joker have to go through that. You know, like being the best player potentially in the whole world
Yeah.
and then lose games when one of your stars are gone. Like, you know, that gives him a bad look. And I hate that for him. So they gotta step up. Everybody gotta step up.
So when it comes to, let's say, the West, we know the West is, it's just up and down right now. Like, who would have thought? Like, it wasn't on no one's bingo card. Don't tell me it was. Don't message me and say it was. The number one team right now is Minnesota. Number two is Oklahoma City. Nobody, no, like nobody knew that.
Mm-mm-mm.
Then Dallas is on a skid. I knew they would come back down to earth. But they're 9-5.
Yeah.
But Minnesota's 9-3. So what have you seen with like Minnesota, and like talk to me about like what's the changes from this year that's from last year, like what's the differences?
So for me,
Mhm.
with the Timberwolves, they seem to, like you said earlier, they found an identity. They found something that works. And when you find something that works
Mhm.
and you can keep going, you can rely on it, you have success. Now, I will say this. I don't think it's gonna last.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Timberwolves.
He
Maybe
doesn't.
I might be the one and only guy to say it or feel that way. I don't think it's gonna last. I think eventually
Mhm.
Gobert is gonna get in the way. I don't even know if I'm saying his damn last name right, but who cares?
Yeah.
I think he's gonna get in the way of Cat,
Yeah.
like he did previous. Because that's how I felt. I was like, this trade didn't make sense to me from the beginning. All right, you got two twin towers. One's a defensive minded guy, the other one's more offensive minded. So all right, cool. You can make it work in that sense, but somehow I just feel like he's gonna get in the way, and he did. Oh, and he did towards the last two seasons. I feel like right now it doesn't seem like he's not getting in the way. He's playing his role, and everybody's playing their role. I mean, Edwards, what can you say about the guy? He's an animal. Like he's an animal. He's gonna light it up. You should light it up when you got him and Cat. There's no reason for you not to. But for
100%.
some reason, I'm not trusting it. I think they're gonna fall back into
Mhm.
their ways, and they're gonna start messing up. Edwards is gonna start getting him and Cat are gonna bump heads. That's what I'm calling. I'm seeing
I
it now
think
because Edwards is getting too big.
I think that Cat will be traded.
Mm.
I
So
think
you kind
Cat
of
will
feel
be
like that?
traded.
Okay.
I think that I think Gobert will stay because Gobert, and Ant, they're good. And the defensive anchor, is Gobert. He's a monster, and he knows how to
Yeah.
set a screen. Jesus Christ, that's such an underrated skill that people don't understand. Like if your big man knows how to set a screen, that means he can get you open,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
open up that offense, get those switches going, and he knows how to do that. So that's why it's working so well. On top of McDaniels is a hell of a, you know, he's a hell of a defender, and he scores very well. He's a good offensive player too. He's gotten better. Then Nas Reed, you got your six man who comes off the bench
Yeah.
and gives
I
you 10.
forgot about him.
So it makes sense this year. They have some veteran pieces on there too. With Mike Conley is still there. So now I'm looking, I'm like, okay, this could work. You know, I think that they'll be fine, actually. I
Mm.
don't think they'll stay number one. What I think is going to
Yeah.
happen is I think that they will go to down to number 5 or 6, which is
Yep.
perfect for them. 5 or 6.
Yep.
and they're gonna play well all through the season. Ant's gonna keep ascending, keep playing well. Defensively, he's looked great. That's been my favorite part of Ant this year.
Yep.
And yeah, so Minnesota to me, I think they'll stay consistent. I think OKC is the team that's going to drop.
Really? So all right. So we're the opposite on this.
We are opposite on that.
We're the opposite on this one.
I think that that's going to happen. And why do I think it's going to happen is because OKC, we know Shea, and Chet, who should be the rookie of the year. He should be leading. Chet's the rookie of the year. I don't know what we're doing, but I get Wembanyama, and we're so amazed that he moves like Kevin Durant. He's 7'3", and everything. I get it, but Chet,
that boy. Mm-mm.
I was high on Chet. I'll be real. Last year, and then he got injured. But he was the one I was actually excited to see. And then he got injured. I was like, damn. But this year you can see what he's doing. That dude's a monster. That's the rookie of the year right there. He's a monster. He's the reason why they're going to be amongst the 5 or 6 seed or something this year.
Oh yeah.
They're going to make it this year.
Absolutely.
They're gonna make it this year. They are, There's some teams that are, taking a big skid. Memphis, I don't know if they're going to get their footing. I think they'll make the play-in. And unfortunately, with that play-in, it's a do or die situation. Chemistry is a thing. Health is a thing. They're still down 2 big men. Ja Morant is not going to play for another 10 games or so, or right around there. It's just going to look different for them. So I don't necessarily see Memphis getting back in this thing. So they drop. Then you gotta look at, are the Clippers, can they maintain? Houston, can they stay in this?
I like Houston. I don't know if they'll make the play-in, but I like them.
They could, right? So you gotta look. You got Minnesota, OKC, Denver, Sacramento, Dallas, Lakers, Houston, Phoenix. I never mentioned the Clippers because they're number 10. No, they're number 11. Number 10 is Golden State. Number 9 is New Orleans.
Pelicans.
Yep. Yeah, Utah. They're way down there. Memphis is 3-10. You see what I mean? So it's an interesting dynamic that they have there in the Western Conference. So we will see how that shakes up. But we got to throw it to the East.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my team, best team in the league, 11-2. It just is what it is,
But who right behind y'all?
Right behind us is Philly.
Like right behind you, like on your ass.
Where they always are, right behind us. That's just where they stay. They have property behind us.
Ooh, we thought it was gonna be Philly. Bucks and Boston. Philly making some noise. They giving y'all a little run for your money. Don't act like you ain't a little scared of them. Don't do that.
I'm not, and I'm gonna tell you why. I loved that game that Boston lost versus Philly. I loved it because I was like, they won by I think 3 points.
Yeah.
And I was like, we were missing somebody in that damn game, but I was like, that's it? Like, you're supposed to whoop our ass. And you didn't. And then again, we have Al Horford, who continues to come through versus these talented big men, these MVPs and all this other shit. Like, that first game that we played against Philly, I saw what I needed to see. Kristaps Porzingis, you can't do nothing with him because he had 29. That was really what I needed to see. I needed to see how Kristaps plays versus these other bigs. He was cooking. 29 points. I said, okay. All right, I get it now. So this is what I have been waiting for. This is what we have been waiting for. And I'm going to actually post a clip that I put up months ago. I want to say back in May, where I said Kristaps Porzingis is the one that Boston needs to trade for. It happened a month later. You know, I won't post that clip because
definitely too.
it was a hell of an episode too, but he's exactly what they've needed. He's exactly what I've been talking about.
Yep.
Robert Williams can't do this. Shout out to Robert Williams, out for the season. I really hope that his body catches up with his skill level, because it's not fair, you know. I really hope that he's okay and he bounces back. Shout out to Rob. But the skill levels are different when you talk about Porzingis. You can't do that. And Porzingis is a hell of a defender too. Like, I think he had like 6 blocks last night.
Damn.
So Porzingis is one of those guys, right? You get caught up on a player on a certain team that's not playing well, you forget that the system sometimes matters. Excuse me, a lot of the time matters.
Hell yeah.
And you saw him on 3 teams. You saw him on 3 teams, and people was like, he's not this, he's not that. And I'm like, he ain't the one. He's not the one. You got that part right. Absolutely. Because his skill level is a complement to somebody else. And
100%.
What's wrong with that?
Right. There's nothing wrong with that. That works out better for you.
But people made it seem like that was a problem, that it's a compliment.
Nah, they're bugging.
You're bugging. That was my whole point with Kristaps Porzingis. When everyone said he's not that good, I said, then you don't watch basketball, because he can shoot the 3, he moves very well, and he blocks shots very well. You weren't able to see that because of the systems he's in, but you can see it perfectly in Boston. He plays so good. I'm so happy that he's on this team, and he looks great. And he got a little attitude too.
Yes, he does.
He got a lot of attitude. He got more attitude than I thought, because he'd be looking at you like,
I'd be like, New York raised him. New York raised him. You know.
I'm like, all right, Kristaps, he's good. But what do you see for Boston, and what do you like, and what do you dislike? I'll let you be a hater. What are you hating on?
Let me see. Let me start off with the good stuff first. But basically just go off of what you said. KP is a perfect addition for them. He complements that squad perfectly. He doesn't have to do too much. He gets his buckets when he gets them. It's nothing forced or anything like that. And that's really goes for the whole team. JT, JB. A lot of the offense looks a lot more cleaner than it did before. It doesn't look like it's ISO ball and JT or JB ball, or Marcus Smart just fucking chucking up a shot because he's tired of them shooting the shots. Like, everybody's eating. And I'm going to say it every time we get on this goddamn podcast. My boy Derek White is the goddamn truth. They need to stop hating on my boy.
Who's hating on him?
Sometimes they hate on him. Oh, I don't know why Boston got him. He's not worth it, blah, blah, blah. Now look at him. Eating.
He's so worth it.
Eating. Bald head and everything. My boy is eating. I love it.
Over.
What? He's eating. Like, the whole team is eating. The ball is flowing throughout. They're playing defense, which is my biggest thing that I was going to look for them this year, because I wasn't too wasn't too fond of your coach not really doing that much last year. Yeah, and it was frustrating for me, because that's how they got to the goddamn finals, was the year or 2 years before that, when they, just ran through the goddamn East. Now they're doing that again, and it's beautiful. What can I say that I don't like about Boston right now? Come back to me. Come back to me in a few weeks. All right? Yeah, come back to me. Y'all sitting pretty right now. It's all right. It's all right. Come back to me in a few weeks. But the only smoke I had for y'all was Philly. Philly, yeah, and Milwaukee. We still here. We getting our shit together. All right, we getting our shit together. Let's talk about Milwaukee. Let's talk about Milwaukee.
Talk about them.
Yeah, that time is coming.
It's coming.
Oh, it's coming, girl.
Give up
You
100.
see my boy Giannis? All right, defensively,
They're
they
giving
need to
up
work some things out. They
120.
need to work some
A
things out. All
buck
right.
20, y'all. They giving up a buck 20.
They
They
need to
say,
work some things out. All right. They need
but
to
bro,
work some things out. But on offense, oh, it's heating up, girl.
no. But this is the thing, though. This is the thing. This is why I don't give a shit about what Milwaukee is doing, because they're playing well. They're getting it right now. They're starting to offensively get it. They can't stop a fucking pole.
They can't.
They can't, and they're not going to. This is the funny part. They are not going to. Brooke Lopez looks old.
Yeah.
He's not a rebounder. He's never been a great rebounder. He's a situational rebounder, you
Right.
know, but he gets in the paint. You know, he blocks some shots or he alters your shot. But moving him out 6 feet, that's it.
Yeah, that's a problem.
He's not coming out there.
Yeah.
Boston, Kristaps Porzingis in the middle. If you're not going to guard him, you mean to tell me that man's going to shoot 6 to 8 threes a game? Then you're telling me Al Horford's going to come in, he's going to shoot 6 to 8 threes a game because Brooke Lopez is not going to come out there. So then what does that do? You put more pressure on Giannis. So Giannis has to go out and really guard people. But then if Giannis goes out there for KP, let's say, then who does that leave? You're going to leave Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Yeah, y'all stacked like a motherfucker. Y'all got too many goddamn weapons out there.
Then on top of that, add to the fact I have something to say about our bench. I hate our bench. I hated our bench. Hated. Right now, I'm starting to see we got 2 dudes. No, we got 3. We got 3. One don't play like he should, but when he does, he always does great things. I'm going to give a special shout out to O'Shea Brissett. When he plays, he does some good things on the floor. He's a really good defender, high energy. He's a really good rebounder. He's scrappy. That's a guy that's going to play in the playoffs, and he's going to win some possessions, and that's going to lead to some wins in some games.
Yeah.
So watch out for that. Peyton Pritchard, we'll talk about him another time. I can't. I'm not going to do this right now. I'm not going to do this right now. I'm not. But if you have Hauser and you have Al Horford coming off the bench, and one's gonna give you a 3-point threat and good defense. The other one's gonna give you big man protection, and he's gonna be able to score and give you a great defense as well. If those two are gonna come off the bench and give you that, I was wrong about the bench then. So that means we do have a couple off the bench. So Hauser has been killing it this year. You know, He can shoot that ball, but he's scrappy as hell defensively. And people weren't giving him that. But I was like, he's scrappy as hell. Like he's not backing down. He's getting in your face and he's getting in your body, you know, and that's what happened. So the bench is actually solid. It's not like you gotta beat us. You gotta beat us. Boston has won in blowouts this year. They've won in multiple close games, which means late game execution. They're starting to understand and get it. They've won in scrappy games, and they've lost 2 close games. They're getting it. Remember what I said in the beginning, Jones, this is about habits.
Right.
Last year, we would have been 5th or 6th at this point. And we would have lost maybe 5 to 6 games.
Yep.
All the ones that were close, we would have lost those. The one last night, we would have lost that.
Yep.
This year, it's not happening. It's the other way around. Those are the habits that we were talking about before that Boston needed to learn. Jason Tatum, his true shooting is now at 61%. He's now shooting over 50% from the field. He's shooting about 38, 39% from 3. And he's averaging 27, 9, and I think 4 on efficient numbers.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's definitely a problem. You're gonna get a bunch of guys to do that too. That's
so.
I got it right now. Click on it right now.
We're gonna have it. We're gonna have it. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this to y'all every year. I'm taking my team because it being realistic. We can stop you, and by you I mean any of y'all. We can stop you. It's just the fact. We can defend everybody.
Yeah, y'all got depth like a motherfucker. That's one
I
thing
didn't think
that's
we
gonna help
did.
y'all.
I didn't think we did. I thought that bench was going to be atrocious. It started out atrocious, and the starters were carrying us. Then some bench guys started heating up a little bit. Now to say, okay, we got a couple pieces off the bench. So now I'm at a position where I could say I still would like one more piece off that bench in a veteran guard, just a guard. I'm still doing a campaign for John Wall. John Wall, if you watching this, I hope you come to Boston.
Come back to CT.
Love you, John Wall. One of my favorite point guards all time. Hope to interview you one day. But,
make it happen. Make it happen.
But somebody like that would be perfect for them, and then I'd be like, "You damn sure not touching us. Just give us the trophy, man. It's all good."
Yeah, I still gotta deal with them boys out in the West. Don't forget. Don't forget about them.
They're gonna kill each other. Deal with who? They're gonna kill each other. That's the best part. The best part of this whole thing, they're gonna kill each other.
That's true. That's
Denver's gonna kill Golden State. Sacramento is probably gonna kill the Clippers. Phoenix probably gonna go out by Denver, and then it's probably gonna be Denver in the finals, and Boston. And I got Boston beating them in 6. That just shows you how the shit's gonna go.
I'm calling it now.
They're gonna kill each other, man.
No, but that is definitely an advantage for Boston or any team in the East that's at the top of the tiers over there, because, like you said, the West is stacked and they are going to be beating each other up throughout the season. The East gonna have a little bit of an easier time, especially Boston. They're gonna have a lot more time, running through the East, having a lot more rest and things like that. So that's a good point. That's definitely going to play a part towards the end of the season for sure.
It is. And like right now, how I see it, I think that Drew Holiday was an amazing addition to this team. I didn't want to give up Brogdon and Robert Williams to get Drew Holiday. I was very vocal about that, but I understood why it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I am still a Malcolm Brogdon fan. I love Malcolm Brogdon, and like I said, I'm going to cheer for him wherever he goes, wherever he plays. I'm always going to watch Malcolm Brogdon. Whoever gets him from Portland, you got one, because he goes to the bench immediately. He's a 6th man, because he's that good,
Right.
But when it comes to Drew Holiday, he plays with a level head. He never gets too high up, was what I noticed.
Right.
He's always plays under control, and he never gets crazy. That shit is gonna pay off at the right time, because you don't gotta be the number 2 scorer. You are number 4 or 5.
Right. And that's beautiful.
Number 4 or 5 is crazy on this team, So, what do you like about Milwaukee right now? Because I know you've been watching them, and when they were losing some games, and now they're starting to win some. What you like about them right now?
I like that it seemed, because in the last podcast we had, I mentioned how they kind of remind me of the Miami Heat when LeBron went over there. How they had to start figuring it out. Who's really going to take over? Whose team is this? Mm-hmm. It seems like we finally found out. Which it should have been this way anyways. Giannis, do your fucking thing.
It's your team.
It's your team.
They
came to your team. And it's finally looking like they finally figured it out. Like, all right, you know what? Giannis, you do you, man. And let me just get mine when I get mine. Instead of, back and forth. They playing catch with each other and shit,
Mhm.
like looking stupid. So now they're actually having offense. We're gonna run the offense through Giannis because he's the best player on the goddamn court. We're gonna let him do him. Now the defense is gonna start collapsing,
Mhm.
and now he can kick it out to you, Dame, and you can get yours. And Dame's been having some very decent games. Not the typical streaks that we're used to. I think that will come. He's still filling it out, but his numbers are starting to go up slowly but surely.
Mhm.
But like you said, the defense has not shown up yet. You can light them up as much as you want, but defense wins championships. We know this, and
100%.
that's just always going to be the case. So no matter who you got on your goddamn team, you got to remember when Giannis won his chip, he won Defensive Player of the Year that year, and they
Mhm.
won based off of defense. They played defense in that chip,
Mhm.
so you're not gonna win shit, especially with a Boston team that got all that talent and they
Mhm.
playing both sides of the ball. Now you
Mhm.
got Philly doing the same thing. Come on, Bucks. Come on, man. Y'all got to get it together. I like what y'all doing offensively, but defensively, they got to get it together, or they're gonna be sitting in a bad spot this year,
I'll
and
tell
they
you
ain't
what,
gonna get that trick.
Philly versus the Bucks. I want to see that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want I want to see that because I got Philly. I think I got Philly on that one.
I'm going with the Bucks just based on my boy Dave because I love him to death. But I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. This boy Maxi is like that him James Harden leaving was the best thing that could have happened to him.
It
Best
is. It's
fucking thing.
addition by subtraction. And
100%.
Kelly Oubre.
Oh.
Kelly Oubre. Did
Was
he?
it April Fools or something?
Did he or didn't he?
What I'm gathering, he did not. He did not. So he looking mighty crazy right now.
So he don't want to play for Philly. That's what it is.
I guess so. I don't know why. I'm confused about this because he was
I,
lighting them up.
he's really playing. You know what? Kelly Oubre is another person. Another person. This is what I'm saying. If y'all watch ball, y'all will understand people's strengths and weaknesses immediately. He is not a good defender, right? He's on teams that do not play defense. They don't give a damn about defense. The schemes just like they're just not there. That is what you saw with Kelly Oubre here on Washington. Washington is not playing defense back when he was on that team.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So all the teams that he's been on, they're all right, defensively, or they were good, but he wasn't a defensive stopper. Now you see he's actually not as bad as you thought he was. It's because the
Mm-hmm.
schemes are different, but he could
Mm-hmm.
always score.
That's for damn sure.
Always score. Always score. So he sat on the market a little too long for me. I was like, why isn't this man on somebody's team? I would have scooped him up quick. You
Yep.
know, he is an offensive wing. That's going to shoot that three. That clip is loaded. So
Boy,
I didn't understand that, but shout out to Kelly Oubre. I hope you're all
shout
right.
out to Kelly for real.
Good,
Hope so.
good.
Hopefully everything works out over there because you balling, my boy. You balling out there. We don't want to see no one you anywhere else. Stay right where you at because it's working over there. It's working.
100%. Before we get out of here, right? Nick, give
All
me
right.
a team that you feel in the East and then you feel in the West struggling, but will catch up and
Mm.
actually do quite well throughout the season going forward.
Okay. So a team, I'll start in the East.
Yep.
A team that I see that is struggling right now that I see will improve. Damn, now I see two of them. I'm gonna go with Cleveland. Cleveland is struggling right now. Thought they would have a better season. Looked like they found themselves, but now they're struggling again. Now they're what 7-6, 8th spot right now. Um, I don't know what's going on with that situation. It bothers me too because Mitchell's
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite players.
Mm-hmm.
He's D Wade 2.0 is what they call him. So, and everybody knows Wade was my favorite player. So, I've been big on Mitchell. And with all that talent on that team, and it's not working. I don't get it. I don't get it. Well, I kind of get it a little bit. A
You
little
get
bit.
it.
I get it. All right, I lied a little bit. I get it a little bit, but you're doing a little too much. You're doing a little too much.
I know you get it. You know you
You're
get it.
doing a little too much, Mitch. I get it. You want to ball out in this, that. Chill, my boy. You got talent. You got boys around you that can ball. You don't got to do it all. You're not in Utah no more. You in Cleveland with a nice structured team. So use those guys. Let those boys eat. Look what they were
Mm-hmm.
doing before you got there.
Mm-hmm.
They went and got you. They said, let me add this guy with this. And I gotta say this. And I hate to say this because you my guy.
Go ahead, say it.
But this is why they got your ass up out of Utah, man. This is why they got you out of Utah. And you doing the same shit in Cleveland. And I do gotta say one more thing, and I don't really want to do this. But Nat, you was right.
What happened?
You was right.
What
You
did I
said
say?
this. You said that this is why you didn't want to get him in New York. And I was bitching about Randall, like, oh, I want him bad. And you said, no, Sean, you didn't want him. He's not gonna work. They got rid of him in Utah for a reason. I said, no, he's gonna do perfect in New York. And now
Wait, I said that?
go ahead, you got
You got it.
it.
I told you didn't want that damn headache.
God damn it.
I told you didn't want that headache, right? I told you. Like you did not want that headache. Like when it comes to Donovan Mitchell, I really like how he plays. That man is fun, to watch.
Yes. Yes.
He is so fun. But Donovan Mitchell is a number two.
Yes.
When he gets on a team where he can be a number two and he can actually do and he can be him, but he got somebody that has
Right.
just more of the intangibles.
Yep.
You're gonna see like some great basketball and some winning basketball potentially, But Donovan is not a guy that can carry,
Yeah.
and
That's
that was
good.
my he can't carry,
That's a good one.
So, you would have been pissed with him.
Oh yeah, I would have.
You would have been
I'd have been
pissed.
sick. Oh God.
You would have been
I would've
pissed. You would have been looking at me like, yo, you want him? I'm like, no. Like, no. Like, I'm all right.
Oh.
Donovan Mitchell.
Woo! We dodged the bullet on that one.
Yeah, I like him. You can't deny this man's
Talent.
star power and just what he does. That man could go for 40. He's one of the guys, right? When you talk about people going for 40, I'm like Donovan Mitchell.
Yep.
He can do 40 consistently.
Boy got a 70 piece on his record.
Yes.
Come on.
Love Donovan Mitchell. But I just think that if he's a number two on the team, you got something.
100%.
Kind of like if you play with like a Joel Embiid.
Right. Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah, him with a big. Ooh. A problem. Now I got a question for you before
Go
we
ahead.
get out of it. I'm big on guys being appreciative of their moment, of their being in the NBA, getting the opportunity, shining. Then we got guys like Jordan Poole that I cannot fucking stand. I cannot stand that boy. Especially after, he was been pissing me off since last year. Like, man, you on the Warriors, bro. You are surrounded by Hall of Fame
Talk to
talent.
him.
And you over here fucking around? Then they shipped your ass out. You got paid, first of all. Got your money. You got your money. They sent your ass out of here because you wanted to start shit with the big dog, Draymond. You fucked up there. Then you get your own opportunity. Yes, it's Washington. Nobody wants to go play in Washington. I get that. But God damn it, you got an opportunity to go get another bag and shine and show, you know what? I could do this shit over here too. I could turn the Washington Wizards into something. And no, he took that opportunity and said, kiss my ass. He said, kiss my ass to his teammates. He said, kiss my ass to his family. He said, kiss my ass to the Warriors because they the ones that helped groom him. And for him to act the way he's acting, I mean, the tape I seen with him and timeouts not giving a fuck, just not even looking at the coach, having a separate conversation. Oh, man, guys like that, I cannot with y'all. I just can't. Because I was a guy that had aspirations of making it that far to the NFL or the NBA. And to see guys that get the bag, have leadership that they've been under, you act like this?
Yep. Talk to him.
Man, oh man, oh man. That shit pisses me off more than anything.
I see nothing wrong with what you said. Nothing wrong at all. At the end of the day, Jordan Poole does not do the intangibles.
Yep.
It's like you want to be Steph without the work.
Yep. Bingo.
And that is why Jordan Poole is a bad contract. He is a guy that I would not bet on, and say, okay, I want this guy on my team. I think he can do X, Y, Z. He's showing you have an opportunity to lead that team.
Yeah.
They don't have. You're not going to win a lot of games, but you have an opportunity to just show a little.
Eat that. Learn.
Yeah. Just get them in line and just show what you can do.
Yep.
He's terrible. Like, he's absolutely terrible. So, with that being said, I think that Jordan Poole's going to find himself on the bench somewhere, and he's potentially going to find himself out of the league,
Yep.
because if he doesn't learn how to play this game and understand that you have got to be able to read the defense, you have got to be able to get your guys in place, you have got to be able to understand how to score efficiently.
Yep.
If you can't,
no, go ahead.
You can't do those things, you're not going to be in the league. What do we need you for?
Exactly. Go watch Gil's Arena. My boy Gil gives you the tips on what a point guard is looking at on his offense. He says it all the time. I'm not looking at the guy in front of me. If you're reading the guy in front of you, you're not playing basketball correctly.
100%.
You're not playing. You got to read everything else that's going to happen because the guy in front of you, if you're the man that you're supposed to be, he ain't nothing. You getting right past him. It's next. Who am I going to deal with next? Is it the center? Is it this guy coming to help? Is it what am I? And then when that does happen, what is my move? Am I making this move? Am I making a pass? That's offense. That you are in the pros now. It's not that simple backyard basketball bullshit. It ain't gonna work over here, bro. Like you said, he gonna end up on somebody's couch. On somebody's bench, on somebody's couch outside the league.
And that's all that's gonna happen. But I'm Nat the GM.
And I'm Jones.
That's right. It's my guy Jones. Listen, we were back, We're gonna see y'all next week. Talk about how these standings looking. My Celtics probably still gonna be at the top. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So
I hope not.
That's a little bit of an insider, for y'all, for what we're gonna talk about next week, why we're just so great. It's fine. But thank y'all for coming to 3P podcast, and we will see y'all again next week. Peace out.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, hold up. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Please
sir.
make sure that y'all are safe. Y'all eat well. Because we're not going to see you right. Joe, thank you so much for gathering me together. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Please be safe. What's
Yes,
your favorite dish?
Whew, you know, it's a lot, but nothing gets past that famous mac and cheese, bro. Come on.
Yes.
Nothing can get past that mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese is my absolute favorite dish. But you know what I just started eating in like a year? Like candy yams, yo. Like the yams. I wasn't a yams person. I was like,
you wasn't a yams?
I wasn't. And then I was like, then when they touch, you know, I was like, oh.
Oh, I can't wait till Thursday. God damn it, can't wait till Thursday.
Listen. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll talk to you, bro. You already know. All right.
Absolutely.
Have a good night.